Throughout American history, the pursuit of ambitious infrastructure has shaped not just skylines and highways, but the nation's very identity. From the Transcontinental Railroad of the 19th century, which stitched together a vast and varied landscape, to the interstate highway system of the mid-20th century, the United States has long demonstrated a collective will to tackle large-scale projects with transformative potential. Indeed, some of the world's most iconic feats of engineering, such as the Hoover Dam or the Golden Gate Bridge, stand as testaments to a national spirit that values innovation, progress, and connectivity. Today, in the year 2025, that tradition continues with a new wave of megaprojects nearing completion across the country, each promising to leave its mark on infrastructure, technology, and economic development. These projects, ranging from massive bridges to semiconductor fabrication plants, reflect not only America's commitment to modernizing its built environment, but also underscore the evolving demands of a global economy. At a time when supply chains are being reimagined and sustainability is at the forefront of public discourse, these ventures converge engineering expertise with strategic foresight. The Gordie Howe International Bridge. On the banks of the Detroit River, the aging Ambassador Bridge has for decades handled a vital flow of commerce between the United States and Canada. Since its opening in 1929, it has facilitated one of the highest volumes of international truck traffic in North America. However, by the early 2000s, swelling trade and mounting congestion highlighted the need for a second crossing. Discussions between the Canadian and U.S. governments eventually culminated in plans for a new bridge named after Canadian hockey legend Gordie Howe. Fast forward to 2025, and the Gordie Howe International Bridge is approaching its final stages of construction. Spanning approximately 2.5 kilometers of the Detroit River, the bridge features a modern cable-stayed design with towering pylons that frame the waterway on both sides. While the original timeline targeted completion by late 2024, supply chain disruptions for steel and specialized cables extended the schedule. Nevertheless, project managers report that over 90% of the construction work has now been completed, with traffic expected to flow before the end of this year. In total, the bridge and its associated ports of entry represent an investment of over $5.7 billion. This includes state-of-the-art customs facilities and dedicated lanes to streamline the crossing of commercial trucks, personal vehicles, and pedestrians. Once operational, estimates suggest it will reduce wait times by up to 50% during peak hours. Beyond reducing congestion, the project promises expanded trade capacity between two of the world's largest trading partners. Supporters tout the economic benefits, projecting an increase in cross-border commerce that could exceed $100 billion annually by 2035. Not everyone has embraced the project without reservation, however. Local communities in southwest Detroit raised concerns about air quality and traffic disruptions during the multi-year construction phase. Environmental impact statements highlighted the potential for increased noise and pollution in nearby neighborhoods. In response, the binational project team instituted community benefits funds, offering grants for local green spaces, job training, and small business support. These measures aim to ensure that while international trade thrives, local residents also share in the economic gains. TSMC Arizona Fab. Semiconductors are often referred to as the brains behind modern electronics, powering everything from smartphones to electric vehicles. Since the early 2020s, global chip shortages have underscored the vulnerability of foreign-dominated supply chains. In response, the U.S. government passed legislation to incentivize domestic production, culminating in large-scale projects under the umbrella of the CHIPS and Science Act. Leading this charge is Taiwan's semiconductor manufacturing company, known as TSMC. In North Phoenix, Arizona, TSMC broke ground in 2021 on a multi-billion-dollar fabrication facility intended to produce advanced chips using 5-nanometer and 4-nanometer processes. Original projections targeted 2024 for full operation, but a shortage of specialized construction labor and delayed equipment shipments pushed the operational date to late 2025. Despite these setbacks, the project is now in its final fit-out phase, with mechanical and electrical systems being rigorously tested. The facility, estimated to cost $12 billion initially, has grown in scale to over $40 billion as TSMC announced further expansions. Proponents argue that domestic chip production will bolster national security and reduce reliance on East Asian manufacturing. This plant alone is projected to create upwards of 2,000 direct jobs, including high-tech engineering roles, while spurring thousands more in peripheral industries. Critics, however, caution that the learning curve for workforce training remains steep, given how specialized semiconductor manufacturing has become overseas. Still, TSMC has formed partnerships with local universities, offering scholarships and advanced training programs to cultivate a talent pipeline. Samsung Semiconductor Plant in Taylor, Texas. About 1,000 miles to the east in Taylor, Texas, Samsung is also making headlines with its $17 billion semiconductor factory. Located just outside Austin, this facility will focus on producing chips for consumer electronics, automotive systems, and artificial intelligence applications. Ground was broken in 2022, and despite early concerns about water consumption in a region that frequently grapples with drought, developers implemented advanced water recycling infrastructure. As of 2025, Samsung reports that the plant is roughly 80% complete. Structural, electrical, and ventilation installations have begun, and a workforce of approximately 3,500 construction personnel is on-site daily. Officials project that initial chip production could commence in mid to late 2025, aligning with the intensifying global demand for microcontrollers and processors. Once online, the facility is set to become one of the largest of its kind in the United States. Local communities are optimistic about job creation and the potential for spin-off businesses, while environmental advocates point to the factory's reclaimed water systems as a model of sustainable industrial development. The LA Metro D Purple Line Extension. Shifting gears to public transit, Los Angeles, a city synonymous with cars and congested freeways, continues its ambitious expansion of the Metropolitan Transportation Authority, Metro rail system. Since the 1990s, LA has worked steadily to reshape its reliance on cars through the development of subway and light rail routes. The Purple Line, now officially called the D Line, runs along Wilshire Boulevard, one of the most heavily traveled corridors in the county. The construction process has not been without challenges. Tunneling beneath dense urban neighborhoods introduced technical complexities, including geological surprises and traffic detours that impacted local businesses. Yet the community outreach efforts, combined with the promise of reduced congestion and lower carbon emissions, have largely supported the project's momentum. City planners see it as a cornerstone of LA's sustainability goals, anticipating a surge in public transit ridership that could reshape commuting patterns in one of the nation's most car-centric regions. The new J.P. Morgan Chase headquarters at 270 Park Avenue. In Manhattan, skyscrapers are more than just office spaces. They are symbols of global finance and architectural ambition. In the wake of changing work patterns, where remote and hybrid arrangements have become increasingly common, J.P. Morgan Chase broke ground on a new state-of-the-art headquarters that aims to define the future of high-rise office buildings. Located at 270 Park Avenue, the new tower replaces the old 52-story Union Carbide building, once the headquarters for Chase. Demolition of that structure concluded in 2021, making way for a planned skyscraper rising to approximately 1,388 feet. By 2025, the steel superstructure has topped out, and workers are installing the final sections of the exterior glass curtain wall. The projected cost stands at around $3 billion. Central to the building's design are advanced sustainability measures. J.P. Morgan Chase has publicly committed to achieving net zero operational emissions in the tower, powered in part by on-site solar installations and an innovative energy storage system in the basement. According to city officials, this will be one of New York's largest private sector contributions to greening the skyline. With an anticipated workforce capacity of 12,000 employees, the tower's interior features flexible floor plans, cutting-edge air filtration, and communal spaces designed for collaboration. While questions remain about the evolving nature of in-office work, The sheer scale and technological sophistication of 270 Park Avenue are widely seen as setting new benchmarks for commercial real estate in the city. LAX modernization. Los Angeles International Airport, commonly known as LAX, has long ranked among the world's busiest airports. Over the last decade, the airport has undergone a massive modernization program aimed at improving passenger experience and reducing congestion. Key components include terminal refurbishments, roadway enhancements, and the development of an automated people mover APM system to link travelers more seamlessly to public transportation and rental car facilities. As of 2025, the APM, a system of elevated guideways and stations, has completed final testing and is on schedule to welcome passengers by the end of the year. The budget for the APM alone exceeds $2 billion, with modern driverless train cars expected to operate 24 hours a day. Airport officials anticipate that this infrastructure will cut curbside traffic by up to 15%, a significant relief in one of the nation's most traffic-prone cities. Future projects include preparing for the 2028 Summer Olympics, where LAX's new capabilities will be put to the test, accommodating millions of visitors over a short period. Buffalo Bills new stadium. In western New York, construction of the new Buffalo Bills Stadium in Orchard Park has captured the attention of sports fans and civic leaders alike. Estimated at over $1.4 billion, the open-air stadium began rising in 2023 and is slated for completion ahead of the 2026 NFL season. Although the grand opening is still a year away, 2025 is significant for reaching key structural and roofing milestones. By late this year, nearly all of the concrete and steel framework should be in place, with the next phase focusing on seating installation and advanced sports technology integrations. The facility's design prioritizes fan experience and aims to reflect the region's heritage, from local food offerings to architectural elements inspired by Buffalo's historic building styles. Renewable energy megafarms. Amid shifting energy policies, large-scale solar and wind projects have gained traction. In the Southwest, where arid conditions and prolonged sunlight prevail, vast solar farms are nearing completion. Many of these projects feature cutting-edge photovoltaics with battery storage systems, allowing for a more consistent energy supply. By 2025, states like Arizona and Nevada are bringing online solar farms that collectively add over 5 gigawatts of capacity to regional grids. In the Midwest, wind farms continue to expand, employing taller turbines capable of capturing higher altitude wind streams. The United States now ranks second worldwide in total wind power capacity, and these new installations stand to push the nation even closer to the global leader, China. For communities hosting these wind farms, the influx of property tax revenue and lease payments to landowners represent a significant economic boost, although concerns about visual impact and noise persist. Nonetheless, developers emphasize that these megafarms will play a critical role in meeting renewable portfolio standards set by various state governments. As the United States stands at this pivotal moment in 2025, the nearly completed array of megaprojects underscores a nation intent on reinventing itself for the 21st century. Even as these projects are near completion, the real test lies in how effectively they deliver on their promises, whether that means alleviating traffic congestion, stabilizing microchip supply chains, or reducing carbon footprints. Their progress will offer valuable lessons in planning, funding, and operational best practices, lessons that could shape the next generation of American infrastructure. And with each ribbon cutting, ground opening, or newly humming assembly line, the United States signals not just the end of one grand phase, but the beginning of another. In the coming years, the ripple effects of today's endeavors will continue to unfold, forging pathways for tomorrow's innovators, builders, and communities. Ultimately, the projects of 2025 stand as a testament to a nation's resolve to keep pushing forward, ever reaching, ever building, and ever envisioning what might lie just beyond the horizon.